If you wonder why I'm laying down, it's because of ball pain. This movie was a kick to my balls. My left and right nut are screaming. The Rollerball remake is one of the worst remakes. It's god-awful, horrendous, incoherent. It's funny, the tagline says, "Go ballistic." I'm going to go ballistic, alright, on this pile of drivel. And my balls hurt! Fuck with this movie. Ugh. God. Alright, let's just calm down. Let's talk about this movie. Get this over with. First off, thank you to TurboTechWar, who requested this film. And what's sad is I still haven't seen the original with James Caan. That I saw this film before the original. But, yeah, this movie... Okay, let's just get the plot out of the way. Go over the plot and get that out of the way. You have our main character, Jonathan Cross, who is played by Keanu Klein. Yeah, this guy is a poor man's Keanu Reeves. And I know he was in the American Pie films. And what's funny is Keanu was offered the part of our lead character, turned it down, and I'm glad. Because, yeah, Chris Klein... But anyways, he plays our main character, Jonathan, and he's a popular player in extreme sports. And now he's been recruited for this game called Rollerball. And his teammates, you have LL Cool J, his character. You have Aurora, who was played by Rebecca Romaine Stamos from the X-Men films. She was Mystique. And again, our main character, Jonathan, is giving viewers what they want. Visceral thrills, high-speed action, and, breakneck speed. And you have the creator, Petrovich, who is played by Jean Reno. And he's part of this, syndicate. And they see that, the action on the court is bringing in the high ratings. And soon our main character, Jonathan, that he sees that there's more going on here. And he has to stop our main villain, played by Jean Reno. And him and his friends are playing for their lives. And that's kind of the plot, really. Maybe, I know that's not explaining a whole lot, but that's this movie. It doesn't really explain, and the whole rollerball game in the film, the way they try to explain it in this movie is confusing, and it's like, what? But okay, the film starts off, you have Chris Klein's character riding this board down the streets of San Francisco, and I'm like, where's the cars? Kind of surprised, he hasn't been hit yet. And again, San Francisco, he's going down these hills and streets, and I'm like, where's Nash Bridges? With this Hemi Cuda convertible, and take out Chris Klein. Wipe out that character. Him and Cheech Marin. Again, where's Nash Bridges? And his Himikuda convertible. Wipe out Chris Klein, please. But, he gets saved by LL Cool J, who comes out of nowhere. And soon, they join up with this rollerball team. And again, the concept of the rollerball in this film, they try to explain, and it's confusing as hell and incoherent. But, again, he joins the team, and, they go to this arena that's straight out of American Gladiators, and you have Paul Heyman as the commentator, The only interesting thing about this film is Paul Heyman from the WWE is the commentator in this film. And again, you have John Reno in the film, from the Godzilla remake and more. Pretty much here for a paycheck. He's not given much to do. He's our villain. He's a syndicate type, mob, type. And throughout the film, he's mostly just sitting down and watching, the action. And he's watching the ratings go up and the audience, react to the rollerball games. John Reno is not given much to do here. Again, it's pretty much a paycheck. And you get some rollerball action where everybody's riding bikes and, throwing these metal balls, and you got weird costumes and, weird characters. There's a moment where you get some rollerball action and Chris Klein's character stops for a Kool-Aid break, like he's drinking some Russian Kool-Aid or something. And then, the more action takes place, the ratings spike because action equals ratings. And, you cut to some other scenes where you have Chris Klein and his great acting in this one scene where he's in a club and he sees this one girl with a tattoo underneath her eye. And he's like, "Congratulations, it looks beautiful." And his delivery of dialogue is bad, just like the rest of the dialogue in this film is pretty bad. And, you have some things going on with our villain where he's, pulling some dirty tricks and our main character's onto him, but... And then you have some random scenes in here. This is pretty much random, the movie. Random scenes that just come out of nowhere and it doesn't make sense. You have a sex scene, where Rebecca Romaine Stamos is having sex with her main character in the locker room. You have this one scene where LL Cool J tells the main character, "You're the elephant, son." And then it cuts to a scene with these guys dancing to the song Wooly Bully. Wooly Bully. I'm like, what is going on? And then you have a Shane McMahon cameo in the film where Shane McMahon just looks around, no dialogue, but he appears in the film like, hey, it's Shane McMahon. And again, Jean Reno, he loves the action on the rollerball games, and he wants our main character to do certain things. And Andrew Bernarski is in there, as a dirty player. Yeah, Andrew Bernarski from Batman Returns, and I believe, he was Leatherface in the Texas Chainsaw Massacre remake. I remember he was in that shitty sequel, Cyborg 3, The Recycler. But, yeah, Andrew Bernarski, he's this dirty player on the team trying to take out our main character. But that's later in the film, in the final act. But even before that, you get some action scenes, for example, where LL Cool J and Chris Klein are in the desert, and I swear, it's all shot in night vision. Like all those scenes in the desert, it's shot all in night vision, and it looks like a handheld camera that someone had just switched to night vision. And at times it's blurry, and I'm like, what is going on here? This is so cheap, and it just looks bad. And the action there, I mean, what was John McTiernan thinking? Again, same guy that directed Die Hard and Predator and Last Action Hero. And you got scenes in the desert where it's all shot in night vision. And I know I keep looking that way because trying to adjust some light. Sun's coming out. There you go. A little bit. But like I said, you got, scenes where, it's shot in night vision and LL Cool J is on a bike. And I swear there's this one part where he runs over this barbed wire fence and you get this really annoying sound effect. Bang! I am not lying. You get the sound of a wire, snapping. You know that doing sound? Like, wire snapping or wires twanging. Yeah, you get that sound effect in this movie twice. During that scene, during those scenes. Again, if you flick the wire and you get that boing noise, I'm like, God, John McTiernan, what were you thinking? But so yeah, I mean, and it gets to a point where they have Chris Klein on a plane and tells John Renault to fuck off, and they're getting ready to throw him out of a plane, but they don't. And this is all leading towards the final act of the film. And this is where it starts to get, insane. And, you got, again, some more rollerball action in the final act where Andrew Bernarski, again, he's a dirty player. He's trying to take out our main character. And Paul Heyman at one point says, is anybody going to stop this? I agree. Is anybody going to stop this movie? Paul Heyman, please. Somebody just stop this movie. And then you have this one character, the Spetsnaz type guy. I call him the Spetsnaz guy because I believe this actor, he was in Predators. Remember the Spetsnaz guy? Yeah, he's in this movie. And you got one part where he jumps into the crowd because, he wants to, hey, the main villain up there, John Renault, that, they're killing him for the ratings, and then suddenly he gets shot, and fucking truck. Yeah, I think that guy lives next door. But yeah, he gets shot because, they're killing him for the ratings, and then, the crowd, at that point starts cheering for our main character to win. And you get this one moment, very bad moment, where Paul Heyman says, holy shit, and then the main character does a drop kick through the sweet box where, John Renault is sitting down like this, and the main character comes at him via a drop kick, takes him out, and then he starts taking out some of the guards there in the sweet box, and he got some very weird editing, how he's taking out these different guards. And there's a part where he even throws one of the balls. And then John Renault gets away. And then he goes down to this pool room where these shotguns are locked up. Yeah, you got this, you have the shotgun with these other shotguns that are locked up. And he loads the shotgun while it's still locked. And then he, when Chris Klein comes into the room, he breaks off the shotgun and is able to fire a shot at Chris Klein, but Chris Klein had a bar stool in his hand and he deflected the shot with the bar stool. And after that, he takes out Jean Renault with the bar stool. It was some kind of stool. I don't know if it was a bar stool, but it was a stool. And he got some really bad, music in there, score. And then the villain's successor comes in, tries to take out Chris Klein, but Chris Klein takes out him. And there you go. That's the movie. And again, I know describing it seems incoherent, and I may have, I may come off incoherent, but that's this movie. That's the Rollerball remake for you. It's very, again, it's god-awful. It's horrendous. And I've seen some bad remakes, whether it be RoboCop, Elm Street, The Fog, what have you. And this is definitely one of the worst. And again, it just makes me want to go back and watch the original. And deserves a 3.1 on IMDb. I think it gets a 3% on Rotten Tomatoes. It deserves it. Because this movie sucks that much. And, I know Okay, let me just talk about the cast. Um, Again, you have Chris Klein in the film. I'm not the biggest fan of Chris Klein. Again, I don't mind him in American Pie. Like the first American Pie, I remember he was in that. But, this guy, I didn't care for his character. I didn't care for his performance. And again, like I said, it's funny Keanu was offered the part. And I think Nicolas Cage. But, yeah, I didn't really care for his character. LL Cool J. And I think reading about... Damn, see? This movie is making me burp. But I think even later on, LL Cool J, talked shit about this movie, but he had to promote it. So even LL Cool J doesn't like the film. And so I like LL Cool J, but, he can't save this movie. Rebecca Romaine Stamos, she's hot, but she can't save this movie. John Reno, again, he's pretty much there for a paycheck. And he's given nothing to do. Great actor, but he's giving nothing to do in this film. And except just, sit in the sweet box and watch the rollerball games and watch the ratings spike. That's all he's there to do. And I thought he was a shitty villain. So that's the cast for you. And John McTiernan, again, I don't understand because this guy directed Die Hard and Predator, Last Action Hero. What was he thinking here? What was the mindset? Yeah, this movie, I don't know what more I can say. I mean, Rollerball remake, yeah, like I said, it's definitely one of the worst. And again, they try to explain the concept of the game in the film, and it just comes off incoherent and horrendous. Action scenes I don't care about. I didn't care for our lead character. And, LL Cool J, Rebecca Romaine Stamos, John Reno. You got some talent there, and they're wasted. And this, drivel of a film. But yeah, fuck the Rollerball remake. And, yeah, I'm done here. Damn this movie. One of the worst remakes. But thank you once again, and have a good day.